This is a short intro to the SCANAR tool to retrieve news articles. It's available here on this URL. And after logging in, you'll be provided with the login details for IO users. You can go and click on the SCANAR tab here, which is one of the 3 apps here. So basically, SCANAR stands for Search Companion for Advanced News Article Retrieval, and it is a way to quite quickly retrieve news articles based on multiple queries from Google News RSS. So the way how you do this is you upload a text file that contains your search strategy, so that you can avoid manually creating it all the time. And the way how it looks like is this. So basically, you'll have to be quite comprehensive in your search. So to use multiple terms and combine them, and to also look at different variations or synonym of these terms, because that's important for 2 reasons. The first reason is that you're actually able to retrieve all the news around your selected topic, so to be systematic about it. And then the second bit is that there is some automated reordering and rank ordering within this tool, that articles that get retrieved by multiple queries are considered more likely for your use case to get reordered to the top. So the better you are at making a very comprehensive search query that covers a lot of different concepts that are related to your topic, the better it is. So usually what you can see is your information specialist is going to give you a query. So check this. So this is a normal Boolean query. So the way how you do it here in SCANAR is you would just copy out every term from query 1 and connect it with every term from query 2. So in that case, this is blood-based biomarkers done, and we have to also do this with diagnostics, actually. So now what you have here is every combination here is done. So we can just delete this one, actually. And I think change this to be just a normal hyphen. Just, no, like a normal thing. That's probably better. And now we save this as query example.txt. So this is something that information specialists can help you with. And this is the file that you drag and drop here. So if you go here, you get a window that says select the files. You can also just drag and drop it, but I'm just going to open it here. So what the tool first then does is it'll show you the queries that you've just given to it. So you have Alzheimer blood-based biomarkers and Alzheimer's blood-based biomarkers, and then something else about diagnostics. And now you have the options here. Option for when to retrieve published articles. Usually I pre-selected 1 year ago, so everything from today, 1 year ago, until the actual date today. And this is going to also show you, just to make absolutely clear what your timeframes are, but you can also select 6 months or 2 years, depending on how far back your scan goes. Then there's an option to scrape full text articles. This is also pre-selected as a yes. This just means that the tool runs slightly longer because full text retrieval does run longer, but it's not too significant. So what you can then do is, and then every query per default, Google always returns 100 articles. But if you don't want that much to scan through, and the articles to return towards the end are usually less relevant anyway to the query. So that's why I've set it at 50 articles per query, which just means that for each of these 4 articles, it's going to look at the first 50 articles that were submitted. So once you click submit, what happens is that the tool is going to start with your first query. which would be Alzheimer's blood-based biomarkers, and it sends the query off to Google News, and Google News is going to give back an RSS feed. And once it has the RSS feedback, the tool will tell you that here you've got your feed. And now the loading bar, you can see that's your full text retrieval. So for the first 50 articles, of course, the tool will have to retrieve all the 50 full texts. And for some full text, it takes a bit longer. That's when you can see that it slightly stops here, but then it will be moving again. And so 50 full text articles are going to be retrieved for this. For the next query, you can see that there is only a tiny difference because there is only this addition to Alzheimer's. What is going to happen here is that Google is still going to sort of send this query, but when it gets back all its results, the tool will go into a deduplication mode automatically. So every news article that has already been retrieved by the previous search obviously doesn't have to be retrieved anymore. So just a duplicate gets counted for this article, and then only the new full texts of new unique articles will have to be retrieved. So what we'll be able to see once we get the actual RSS feed for this query is that the full text, look how quickly this went. So that means that there probably weren't many unique articles, maybe one or two unique articles in this step. So now with the next query, Alzheimer's diagnostic, this is quite significantly different search query. Probably we will see again slightly longer loading times here because still our 50 full texts have to be retrieved. But it isn't also too long. And so as this runs through, I can already start introducing the output. So the output of this tool is that you will get two spreadsheets, one spreadsheet with your news data. So that includes, for example, the title and the URL, and in our case, also the full text. And this will come down as a CSV file, so that's something that you can easily import into Excel. That is the first sort of spreadsheet you're getting out. And then the second spreadsheet that you're getting is the search documentation. So with the search documentation, it'll tell you how many hits were there for each search, how many articles were retrieved, and how many new unique articles came or were left over after the deduplication. So this is, as I said, the first spreadsheet with the data, and it's been reordered. So you can see here that there is a title biomarker diagnostic, so that already sounds very relevant. And the reason why it is on top is because we can see it had 4 appearances. So actually in all of our 4 search queries, even though they were worded differently, these are our search queries, you can see this article was retrieved, and that's why it's on top. And there are a few articles like that. And then there's other articles that were retrieved, for example, in 2 queries, and one that was retrieved in 3 queries. And then also, this is where the sort of major sorting is happening on the appearances. But then also there's the minimum page option. So minimum page means always that an article has at least once appeared within the 10 results. So a search page result usually is 10 articles. So this one also at least once in these 4 queries came on the first page. So you can also see that there are some articles that came on the second page, which means they're slightly relevant as per Google. So you can see it as the min page is how relevant Google thinks that these articles are, and the appearances are how we think, sort of based on our search strategies. If it was comprehensive enough, you're going to be able to use this appearances because many duplicates will be retrieved. So that's the data spreadsheet, and you can download that just by clicking here, and you'll get the CSV file just directly downloaded to your computer. And so it'll go to the download field. I can see it here, so I have to click save, and the same can be done here with the search documentation. So the search documentation tells us that, for example, for this query, the Google News RSS feed had 93 hits, but we only retrieved 50, or we sort of processed 50, because we were only allowed 50. So these two columns are usually the same. And then total aggregated is going to tell you how many unique articles we actually have. So with the first query, they said we retrieved 50, there weren't any duplicates there. So that's why we just have 50. But with the second query, actually, even though we found 88 records and we looked at 50, only 3 more new articles were identified. So it did make sense to add this, this little S at the end of Alzheimer's, because 3 new articles were retrieved, but actually the rest was duplicates. And you can see the same jump here. So from 53 to 94, that's because our query was different. But then also from the from the third to the fourth query, it's also actually slightly less. So that's great, because it means that it shows us, how many results were retrieved and how our different search terms performed. That's something good maybe to keep as an appendix or for the methods of your project. But then also you can download an RIS file for EndNote. So this RIS file is quite nice, because it gives you the citations for each of these news articles. And the great thing about having a citation for a news article, here it is that you can import that into EndNote. And then once you have it into EndNote, you can use the Vancouver 2001 IO style, I think, to then directly cite this and use cite as you write in Word, so you don't have to manually format any news citation. The only thing that right now there's a limitation in this tool, and that is that sometimes Google News will return to you journal articles that, if they are very high quality, huge journals, Google News sometimes picks up articles, so journal articles, peer-reviewed publications as news stories. So that's just something to be aware of during screening. Is if you are not actually looking at peer-reviewed journal articles here, you might just have to screen them out. So you can see here that there will be some from Nature. There's a couple from nature.com, and then usually there are some from the Lancet as well. So this is just to be aware of, that sometimes these come through, but it's not a majority, and it'll depend on your search and your topic whether you get this journals. But yeah, that's it so far from the SCANAR tool. Please get in touch with me if there are any issues.